Yeah, this is Eli, coming from Trubian Village in Black Heritage High Desert. Reporting on here an incident that happened Wednesday night involving an officer-involved shooting involving Keivon Young. And the details is stated here in the newspaper as deputies shoot knife-wielding man. Officials looking for a murder suspect, 18-year-old released from hospital arrested. San Bernardino County Sheriff deputies shot and injured a man Wednesday night in the 1100 block of La Paz Street after the man withdrew 2 large knives from his waistband of his pants, authorities said. At approximately 9:17 p.m., San Bernardino County Sheriff deputies from the Specialized Enforcement Division were searching for a murder suspect, Robert Pope, of Apple Valley, where they came across 18-year-old Keivon Young of Adelanto, according to Sheriff spokeswoman Cindy Bachman. Deputies observed Young sneaking through people's front yard and hiding behind bushes and attempt to make contact with the man. They identified themselves as deputies before Young pulled out the knives, according to a deputy news release. Fearing for their safeties, the deputies fired their duty weapons and struck Young, Bachman said. Young was transported to Arrowhead Regional Medical Center in Colton, where he was treated for his injuries and released. Upon his release, Young was arrested and booked into the West Valley Detention Center for assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. Homicide detail detectives responded to the scene are investigating the incident, the typical procedure for a deputy-involved shooting. These are the details and descriptions given up by the police department on the count that happened that night. However, there's a lot of things right here that have to be looked into, and we have some witnesses here ourselves and count of what really happened here. We want you not to just go by what we're saying or what they're saying. Yeah. We want you to look at the facts and judge for yourself. This right here, if you can get a look right here, this is the description of the young man that they're looking for here. If you notice, he has a lot of dreads, had long hair and dreads. The young man that was taken down and shot for this incident has short hair, a young 18-year-old male. Yeah. Deputies were staked out over here in the yard, over here to next to the house. Upon this young man, Keivon coming out the garage here, there's a garage sitting right here. He comes out the garage here with a couple of friends, comes on the side of the house over here. And when you notice, I want to state right here first, there's no bushes anywhere around here. So there was no bushes to be hiding around or anything. So that there is definitely into account right there. So we want to see right here. Yeah. This was a young man, he was taking a piss. Not sneaking around, not hiding, he was taking a piss. Now, I mean, that may sound bad to some people, but that's reality of life. And in the process, as he's doing this here, the officers come out. Yeah. And I'm going to let someone tell the story, but from my account, came out. What they said was he was hiding behind bushes, and they identified themselves as deputies. And at that time, he pulled out knives and assaulted them, or attempted to assault them. But if you look around for yourself, here's a bullet hole here, which struck the young man. And we come look over here a little further down this way. There's another bullet hole right here. And if we look over a little further to the house over here, there's another bullet hole in the house over there, which is far enough away. My question is this. If a young man is right here and he attempted to assault a police officer and they had to fire in defense, then why would there be bullet holes here and there? And he's over in this area here. So that tells me a different story, right? So now what I want to do is I want to talk to the young man right here. This young man right here is the father of the suspect, who was released. Excuse me, he was released from the hospital after his shooting, but then detained for attempted assault on a police officer. But then also another charge has been added now, which is resisting arrest. And I'd just like to know, how can you resist arrest if you've been shot? But that's another matter in hand. This right here, the man right here, is JB. He's the father. Can you tell me a little bit something about what's going on here?
Well, from what I know, what happened is that it was doing some surveillance for a murder suspect, and that they claimed that they had been watching and watching the place, so that the guy that was here. Now, in my understanding, if you're doing a surveillance and you're watching someone and you assume that you have the suspect, they're 9 out of 10 they're blocked and make a perimeter so that they can be able to go and apprehend and take care of the situation professionally. But for some reason, as my son was here, he come to the side and used the restroom with his back turned, and they would stand some part here in the garage, next door in the driveway here, and jumped out of the car, the undercover vehicles, and just start shooting first. And he throws his hands up in the air because he hears gunshots. Then he falls on the ground, and they continue to shoot. Now, for the resisting arrest or coming to an officer with weapons, you have shot him from the hip and the back of his legs.
How many times did he get struck?
He got hit once in his hip, shattered his hip, and is sitting in the spleen. And he have 2 that went in his leg. One has came and went through, and the other one is still lodged in there. But they enter from the back. And as you can see, his bullets spread all around in different locations and everything. So, and then he also stated that after they shoot him and they come over here, they take their phone out to video it so they can clear themselves. He's hollering and asking them, why y'all shoot me? I'm innocent, I did nothing. Why are y'all shooting at me? But they leave him on the ground for 30, 40 minutes as they walk into the garage in the house to go and do their search or whatever they're going to do. But not one time did they identify themselves. And when the ambulance came, 20, 30 minutes later, they stopped at the front, up here at this corner where the stop sign at, where the crime scene was taped off, and maybe spent 4 or 5 minutes talking to the officer alone, then took the bed out of the thing and walked down here, put him in the bed and walked him back up there. And they told us that he was going to the doctor medical center and Arrowhead Medical Center, and that he'll be home. But when he get to the hospital, maybe 3 hours later, they just passed him up, and then they just took him to the jail and arrested him. Gave him assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer, and yesterday they filed another charge, resisting arrest. And it just doesn't make no sense. They mistaken identity, they didn't care, they wasn't professional about what they did. They shot first and started making a plot to cover up what they done already. And they ain't asked no questions. So I'm just looking for the right things to come out, and that this stuff get resolved real soon, and that some type of punishment and justice happen towards these officers for being unprofessional and wrongly shooting my son.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah, I have no problem.
We just spoke to the father of the victim, Keivon. Now, what we like to talk now is Lawrence. He was here tonight. Everything happened right here in this garage right here. And he heard everything that went on. Well, I let him tell me his own words, exactly what happened. How you doing, Lawrence?
I'm doing fine.
All right. So you was here tonight, everything happened?
Yes.
And where was you at when everything happened?
I was in the garage playing dominoes.
That domino? And where was Keivon at?
Well, Keivon was in the garage with us, and he left out in the house.
So he came out of the garage?
No, he went in the house, went out the back.
Yeah, when the house came out the back. Okay. And was he sneaking around or?
No, it wasn't no sneaking around.
And he's familiar with this property here.
Right.
He comes here all the time.
Come in and
And
out.
if I'm not mistaken, his grandmother stayed across the street.
Yes.
So there was no reason for him to be sneaking around the yard or doing anything right here.
No.
So, but I want to get this part straight. He was in the garage with you prior to coming over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he was.
Okay. Then what happened in your words when you from that point?
Okay, we was still playing dominoes, and we're like, man, where Keivon went at? You know what I mean? We didn't know he came back around, took a piss on the side. One thing we heard was gunshots. Pop, pop, pop. We seen the sparks. You know what I mean? Then we had, when they came in, we was shot in the garage, running back, pushing everybody in the house. They came in, detained us, and that's the only time we ever heard sheriff's department.
So you didn't hear no sheriff department, no identification of anything?
After the gunshots, that's
And living here in the high desert, I don't know if you live in the high desert or any quiet community, if you're in the garage right here, and that point right here from this side of the garage to there, any noise at all, anyone making any kind of talk at all, you're going to hear that. That's something that's going to be recognized. So the first thing you heard was gunshots, then what happened after that?
First thing I heard was gunshots. Then I heard Keivon, he was like yelling on the garage, and they came running in with the guns drawn out. We was trying to shut the garage. We didn't know who it was. You know what I mean? Then when they came in, that's when the sheriff's department was heard, when they was retaining us. Other than that, there was no struggle. What they was trying to say, that he was trying to fight him with the knife, whatever.
And at the time, all this happened when they came, handcuffed you in the garage. What was happening with the young man when he was out here?
Oh, he was still laying on the ground. They're saying, well, he'll be all right. We asked him where the ambulance at. Oh, they're on their way. They're on their way. He was on the ground for at least 45 minutes.
Okay, I heard the counsel at 30 to 45 minutes, and he was just here.
Just here.
And
wait.
so at the time, while he was here, did he receive anyone? Did officers try to help him any kind of way, or
They were just standing around.
just standing around?
Standing around.
Okay.
Until the fireman came. They was dealing with him. Then the ambulance, I guess, was parked way back there. And they
So
came.
before the ambulance even came on the scene, they parked down the street here before they come to render help to him?
Yes. 45 minutes later, after all the gunshots and everything, he was laying on the ground. And I'm like, why you shot me? I wasn't doing nothing.
Did the officers, after they said they identified themselves, when did they identify themselves to you first?
They identified with gun drawing and lay down. Sheriff's Department, after the shots rang out, and when they came in the garage.
Okay. Then they went inside the house as well, or?
Yeah, they went inside the house as well. Me and my brother-in-law, we was on the ground, contained, and they took KK out. His girl was in the garage too. You know, but she went in the house and they bring them all back out, ran out names, and after that, there's nothing, no search warrant or nothing. You know, this after they bugged, they came in Sheriff's Department, lay down.
Okay. How many shots did you hear?
Me, I counted 8.
8?
But it was 13 shots altogether. You see, they had a marker, a sticker. 13.
Okay, so you see the markers with 13 case shells.
Yeah, 13.
Okay. So that'll be it right there, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so did anyone else, did they talk to you about the incident? The officers take your statement or anything?
Yeah, they did. I'm like, well, you know, what's going on? How you feel about it? I'm like, it could be handled a different way, not with legal force. It's another way you could have handled it. Well, we're looking for a suspect, a murder suspect. You know, this is last known address. I'm like, well, that's a little kid. He didn't even match the description of the dude. Not even by height or nothing.
That's one important key right there.
Yeah.
Because I'm understanding that if you're staking something out and you're trying to do a suspect or something, you should have 100% accuracy, knowing the suspect who you're required for before you come out shooting. Or my understanding is the correct procedure. We call for backup. We have a suspicious suspect, and try to identify that suspect before anything else approaches. But we want to thank you for your words and wish everything good for you, man. And make sure we try to take care of this. Now, next we have up here someone else that was here. Matter of fact, he is the occupant of this household right here, and he lives here. This is D right here. And D, I'd like to ask you a couple of questions. First, are you familiar with Keivon?
Yes, I am.
And how are you familiar with him?
He's like a nephew to me, you know what I'm saying? I know his dad. He comes by my house every day, play dominoes with us, and eat over here. You know, he's like family to us.
Okay, so would he have any reason to be sneaking around here?
No, he don't.
Okay.
Not for anything, you know.
And he also have another family member on the street as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And can you tell me in your words what happened that night?
Well, that night we went to the liquor store, and when we came in, we saw 2 cars, like unmarked cars or something like that. And I didn't think nothing of it. We just did our regular thing, went and played dominoes, whatever. So he got up, and I guess he went around, take a piss, you know. And next thing I know, 10 seconds later, we heard shots going off.
And,
About 13 shots went off.
About 13 shots?
13.
Did you hear anyone identify themselves before the shooting, or?
No one said anything. We thought it was somebody off the streets, or something like that. But you know, I know everybody around this neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We all get along, so I've never had a problem with anybody not in this neighborhood.
So initially, you thought the fires being shot was being fired at someone from the streets, firing it in the house or something? Or?
Yeah, I had that kind of thought.
Okay, what was your response to that?
My response to that was to get everyone into safety. Try to get everyone in safety light, because once the gunfire was going off, all I saw was sparks coming from this area to where my man was at. From over there.
And how far? Well, it may not be a little bit distance, but how far would you say they was to the suspect when he got shot?
I say a good, maybe about what, 9, 10 feet away, something like that.
Okay, so you heard the shots and then you let the garage down?
I tried to, but I couldn't. But the sparks and everything that was coming from the gun or whatnot, I panicked, I fell, trying to get away too. I had no idea that he was on the side of the house.
So you didn't even know he got shot initially?
I didn't even know. I thought they were somewhere around the corner somewhere shooting.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And as you was trying to let the garage down, what happened next?
They rushed, they came in the house. They said, now they starting to say that they're the police department.
So this the first time you heard someone say it was the police department?
That's the first time they said they were the police department.
Okay, and that was after the fact?
That was after the fact.
Okay, what did they do to you then?
They detained me, my wife, and my sister, and my brother-in-law. And they left the young brother laying over there on the ground for about like 45 to 30 minutes before the paramedics came to get him. So we all yelling and screaming, telling them, you know what I'm saying, they shot my nephew, y'all need to call the paramedics. They trying to question us about this and that, about something that happened in Apple Valley. But whatever happened out there had nothing to do with over here.
Yeah.
You know, so.
So they initially looking for someone else and got the wrong suspect. And before identifying who this young man was, they began shooting first.
True.
Okay. So then at that time there, did they tell you what was going on out there, how it related to here?
Well, that was after the fact. They said that, you know, something happened out there in Apple Valley. And I just lost my mind because at the same time, I was so devastated for what had transpired, and I knew the fact that was wrong because they did not say who they were.
At any time, did they produce you a search warrant, anything?
No, they didn't.
So they just came into the house and grabbed the people that was in the house and brought them out as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And the funny thing here, what I find hard, and I keep hearing over and over again, that the young man laying over here shot. But it took 30 minutes for ambulance, at least 30 minutes for ambulance to come see about him, for anyone to tend to his wounds. And I don't care what society you live in, that's unjust right there. And that's a matter right there that needs to be taken care of, that we need to address on that issue right there alone. But we're going to go back to the issues right now. And how many bullet holes did you see? You found yourself? I see they got one here on the car here.
Right. And there's also multiple shots that hit the house from here to there, where he was standing at, as y'all can see here. He was standing here. There's a hole right here. And then coming to find out, he got hit. They shot 13 times. So the rest of the bullets and whatnot went up here. There's a bullet hole up there. There's bullet holes all here. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yes, I see the body. I didn't even see these there. Yes, I see them now.
To the bottom.
Yeah.
All up there.
Okay, yeah, I see those now.
Okay.
Yeah, I see them. So,
and then
my understanding is, from what I read in the paper just a moment ago, is that he was arrested for assault with a deadly weapon, attempted assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. And what I'm trying to figure out here, if it was attempted assault on a police officer, and he got shot in the back of the leg. So that means if he's still in the period of taking the urinating himself. So how can you assault someone if you receive a bullet hole from the back? Okay, now, if there's an assault, if I'm going to assault you or attempt to assault you, that means we have to have close range to one another. So why are the bullet holes so far spread apart? We're on the vehicle here, the next house over. So why are the things so spread apart? So that's another question I have to raise right there. And I'm just saying that needs to be answered, needs to be addressed. And we're going to go on a little bit more, because there's a little bit more here to this story. There's a lot more to it. But we want to hear the other side. We welcome the police department to come in and get their version of the story. We read what you read. We read what you said in the newspaper. And on my account, a lot of the things here just don't add up. I'm not too smart in mathematics and none of that, but I know 2 + 2 = 4. And if things not adding up, there's something wrong with it. So we're going to try to find out what's going on right here now. So I thank you for all your input right here.
Yes, sir.
And, I wish you and your family, recovery.
Thank you.
I know it's an ordeal you're going through right now, but believe me, you got people with you, and we're going to try to get here right now with the young lady who owns this home here. And she was here the night of the occurrence and everything happened. And we're sitting here right now. I know this is your vehicle right here. And I know you were shocked to the turn of events and everything that happened that night. And can you please tell me what happened, in your words, what happened that night?
Well, I was in the bedroom sleeping, and I heard gunshots, and then when I came out to my living room, I was greeted by task force officers with guns, I left my 7-month-old baby in the bedroom. They snatched me to the floor, had me get on the ground. Though I didn't comply because I had, my daughter in the bedroom with me. They then went into the bedroom with their guns drawn, and they kept telling me to lie down on the floor and not to follow them into the bedroom. But like I said again, I didn't comply with them because my 7-month-old daughter is in that room.
Yes.
Plus she was awakened when I was awake. So at this point she's sitting up on the bed, kind of like at the edge to where I'm begging them, let me get my daughter, she's going to fall from the bed. But he's with his gun searching the closet, so now he has to grab my baby. So I really freak out, like, get away from her with these guns, what the hell? And I'm really like, what's going on, so I don't know, it's just a crazy. And then I come outside to see Keivon laying here bleeding, and I don't understand.
And Keivon, you're familiar with Keivon?
I'm familiar with Keivon. He comes here all the time. He even eats dinner here. At the time I was in the bedroom sleep, I didn't know that Keivon had been here, but his cell phone was plugged up on the charger in my garage. And the knives that they say that he threatened with were mine, from my kitchen. So I told the officer, what are you doing? This boy is welcome here. He's not no threat here. Like, why did you shoot him? And I started trying to explain whatever,
And how long did they leave him out here after the shooting occurred? How long would you say he was out here?
He was out here for a good 20 or 30 minutes before he was seen by a medic. Saying, screaming, God, please help me. And, that auntie, I didn't even do nothing. They shot me for no reason. It was crazy.
So when you seen them laying there, and the officers, did you say anything to the officers about asking for help for him?
Yeah, I asked the officers, why are you guys letting him live here like this? Why won't you, get him help? Where's the ambulance, And I asked them that a couple of occasions, but they never answered. They were just like talking amongst themselves, But they, when I did ask her, where's he been shot? Why he's laying there like that? Where's he shot? They led us to believe that it was only a leg wound, one shot. He was only shot once. When in all actuality, he had been shot 3 times. And he was begging for help and saying that he feel like he's bleeding out and stuff like that. So it's pretty dramatic.
At the time he was begging the officers for help, what was their response? What did they do in return?
They didn't do nothing. Like I said, they was really standing there talking amongst themselves. And he was just laying there, saying I didn't do nothing. And, he's crying for God. And he's like, auntie, please. And he's asking me to get his stuff. And then he's saying, they're going to take me to jail, for no reason. I didn't even do nothing. And they shot me. And they didn't ever say nothing. But one thing that they did tell us, while they were doing their investigation, we were in the garage and my brother and his friend were handcuffed. And for a couple of hours they were in handcuffs.
Oh, so they were a couple of hours, had them handcuffed and everything?
They were in handcuffs for about 2 hours, the gentlemen were.
Okay.
But the officers told us that Keivon was going to be, that he was out of the hospital doing fine and he was going to be home. In his bed before we were. But then they took him to jail right after.
Yeah.
There was a lot of lies.
And when the officers talked to you, when they told you that he'll be home, he's probably back in bed before you would, did they say anything about he tried to assault a peace officer?
No, they never said, no, that wasn't. The initial reason why they said that they shot was because he was on the side of the garage and that who was in the garage was unaware that he was there, since they probably were already here for a murder suspect, they was like, shoot first, ask questions later, anyway.
Okay, and on the murder suspect, I understand he's a cousin of yours, and initially they came here because of a young lady, his sister, also your cousin.
Yeah.
She lived here. How long ago did she live here?
She hasn't lived here in years. It's been about 4 or 5 years.
And the young man, has he been over here recently? Or?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
I haven't seen, they haven't been here for years, like I said.
For years. So initially you think that this here was a whole mistaken identity gone wrong, and it was just taken about the wrong way?
I think it was definitely taken, went about the wrong way. You know, they didn't have to fire their guns because, I mean, there's no mistaking. They just acted out of, you know, too soon. You know, they just acted without knowing. You know, they never announced themselves. They never questioned anybody. They just reacted out of an assumption, which was wrong. I can't say mistaken identity because they don't have any look-alike in common. No build, no nothing, so there's no mistaken identity. They were just out here for, you know, the wrong thing.
So actuality, anyone, not just this young man, anyone going on the side of the house at that time could have been a victim of this crime.
It could have been anybody. It could have been anybody, yeah.
Not only was, I understand that he was out there taking a piss, but it could have been someone, as you see, there's trash cans over there as well. So someone could have been there just come to take the trash out, and might have been a victim as well, caught up in the same way. In the paper, they said he was sneaking from yard to yard. They observed him come from yard to yard and hide behind bushes. And I find myself looking, and I can't find any bushes over here. And I don't. That has to puzzle me right there.
There's no bushes around here.
If you're hiding behind bushes, then where are the bushes at? You know, I don't know if you had a gardener come in and transplanted something.
No.
So
No.
that kind of baffles
Yeah,
my
we
mind
didn't
right
have.
there
We
as well.
haven't had any garden work done. And like I said, if there's only one bush, and that's directly in front of my house, and the shots came from this way. So no bushes.
I know this is secondary. See, my problem that gets me right now is not only was this young man shot, as I mentioned before, and then arrested, but then released from the hospital, then arrested, but he still remains behind custody as we speak, and that there is unjust right there. And now secondary, I want to know, did anyone say about the damage to your home or to your vehicle about the? Yeah,
an officer gave me a card and said, call and we'll see about getting it resolved. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's one.
But the car damage is nothing. We're all here like, this is just not right. The officers told a lot of lies to us that night. It just didn't make any sense.
And how's you sleeping? How you feel now mentally wise?
Oh, I'm pretty paranoid. I'm pretty nervous, because it's just a lot going on, with the connection of, the shooting and stuff like that. But I've been having real bad anxiety, It's kind of hard for me to sleep at night, but, it's okay.
Yeah, I can understand that completely because your home is your safety. That's your peace of mind.
Yeah, I didn't have my daughter here. She spent her first night away from home because of this situation.
So your daughter haven't been here since this happened?
I don't want her here.
You don't want her here then?
No.
And so there's a lot right there. If you mentioned to me right now that that's your daughter's first time away from you,
yeah.
And so that's a lot to go through. That's a big ordeal in itself right there.
I was scared. I was scared for our lives. I didn't know what to think. When I come out the room, I didn't even want to come out. And, I thought about locking me and my daughter in the room. But when I was greeted by officers with guns, I just had no understanding of what, especially if they weren't uniformed officers. So of course, I'm puzzled, like what's going on, you know what I mean? But I have a 7-month-old daughter here, and that put all of our lives in danger, all of us. We could have been out here, really,
Yeah, I definitely understand that. Like I said, your house is your home. That's where you lay your head. That's where you're supposed to have your security.
Exactly. And I don't. and it's bad that the very ones that say that they were trying to protect this home were the ones who actually put us in jeopardy, put us in harm's way, you know. And then right after they shot this young man, they run up in our house with guns on us, like we've done something wrong. You know, if you're looking for a suspect, what happened to knocking on the door and asking, can I search you? You know, because that's fine. You know, nothing goes on here, and I would have been more than happy to allow the police to search and give them any answers that they wanted to, but you know, they did it on a sneak tip, and somebody got hurt.
And then once I know I asked your brother before, did they ever issue a search warrant or anything?
No,
or?
They never showed us no paperwork, you know.
And how many officers you would say came into your home?
About 4 or 5 initially when, you know, the guns were drawn. But afterwards it was like a lot. It was a lot going on here, you know.
So the 4 or 5 officers that came in, they was all plain clothes, or they was all undercover officers? And then the officers that came in later, were they also plain clothes, or were they in uniforms?
They were in, like, suits and stuff
They
like
were
that.
suits. So they came actually out to the shooting to investigate the shooting, officer-related shooting.
Yeah, and then there was a probation officer who came. It's a lot of different. Yeah, I don't recall seeing anybody in uniform.
Okay, yeah, so this here, I know it's a lot to detail. I know it's a lot to go through right now. My heart goes out to you. And, you know, my prayer and sympathy to you and the family. I hope a speedy recovery to you. I hope you can get reunited and feel comfortable again to come to your home with your daughter.
Yeah.
There's nothing like mother love, and I know you care for your daughter
Oh,
dearly.
yeah.
So
My first one. So
but I can see it in your face. I know you do. So yeah, so we're gonna view with this here too and try to see if we get some answers for this here and try to get this here straightened out. We're not looking to cause any problem. We're looking for just the facts to straighten some things out, because the law is the law, and if you're here to serve and protect, as this young lady said, now she don't feel comfortable with serving and protecting. So we just want to get everything straightened out. We get this here path straightened out, and justice is justice. If you're wrong, then you're wrong, and just stand up and admit when you're wrong. I know it could have been a lot worse than what it is. So let's just go on and try to get this here resolved.
Yeah, but
first thing we need to do is try to get this young man out of jail. I would think so.
Yeah.
So there's
We
no
love
need
him.
to.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid. That's
why I protect
no, it's crazy. They killing our youth, and it's a sad thing.
Yeah, so
But thank God, you know, he made it, and
yeah.
we're gonna move on with this.
Yeah, that's what I say. God is good, because it could have been a lot worse situation than what it is right now. So we thank you, and we wish everything, you know, speedy recovery to you. So we're back here with the father now. Okay, Keivon, we want to just say this here. We want to ask you, I know for me, what I would like to see done, I'd like to see this young man released from prison, released from jail. Because in my eyes, he's there unjustly. What's next on the procedure now? What are they telling you going on now?
Well, only thing that we know is that he's been charged with resisting arrest. That's the second charge they finally filed, and that assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. Anything else besides that, they have not said nothing to us. We have no medical report. We have no police report. We don't even know where his property at.
And so, when was the resisting arrest charge added on?
That was added on, say, yesterday, or, you know, this is after they did the first charge.
48 hours later?
48 hours later. To, you know, to really justify and try to get more on it, because, like I said, I called the news people. I got a whole lot of people involved, and as they seen that, and that I was able to get a lawyer, now it's time to change and do more things. You know, because, you know, out here, really the first thing they think, nobody out here got no money. We don't want to worry about it. We're not going to get no lawyer. They scared of us, you know, and that's not going down. I'm going to fight with every piece of breath and limb I have left.
Yes, as a parent should do it. Yeah.
And I want justice done, you know, and it's just not fair, you know.
And the first thing I want to say one more time in my eyes, the most important thing that needs to be taken care of as soon as possible, if not sooner, is this young man to be released from jail. Because he should not be there in the first place. From what I'm understanding, what I'm seeing from my own eyes now, he shouldn't be there. So let's do the right thing. Let's start on the right track and release this man from jail. I know, as you was telling me earlier, he's going to court Monday.
He go to court Monday, and that's for his arraignment and all these things. And So to see what's going on as far as that, so we all going to be there so we can support him. And I like to see my son at home as well. I want him home, and y'all wrong, and there's no need. He leave from there, he go to the hospital, y'all take him straight to jail. Ain't no medical treatment for him. He just sitting in there, waiting on y'all to finish doing what y'all doing to clear up what y'all doing.
Yes, now I know your wife right now is taking this here quite hard, and I understand that. I've been there, I've seen that, and we want to, you know, really give our heartfelt thoughts out to her right now. She's not able here right now, but she's going through a lot of things right now with development, what's happening with her child. And let's understand, this is her youngest child?
Yep.
This is her youngest child.
Yeah,
this
youngest
is her baby.
boy. Her youngest boy.
Her youngest boy.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you want to see your young mans grow up and do something. I understand he has no criminal record.
No criminal record.
So, you know, just, you know, in my eyes, he's 18. I was 18. And we want to call them our men or young men, but they're still boys. They're still babies developing, growing. And this is not just graduated from high school. This is something right here we want any of our children or anyone to go through. And this man, this is something, ordeal he's going to have to live with the rest of his life. So we ask you we plead with you one more time to do the right thing and let this young man out of jail as soon as possible.
And this here doesn't make no sense if you're shot from the back. Don't believe everything you read and everything you hear. Only go by what you know and what you see. And trust me, his family is tore down. His mother, his grandmother, everybody, they don't even want to get out the bed. Just the thought that you tried to kill this little kid for no reason. You know, I'm sorry for how I feel. I'm just trying to stay strong, you know, but it really bothers me that the people that are supposed to protect and serve is doing the opposite.
Yeah.
And I cry for anybody help that seen anything, know anything, and you know, and that my son get released out of that jail so he can get medical treatment properly, and that this thing can be solved and over with.
Yeah. And we're right there with you, brother, and just stay strong and continue to pray. And you know everything's going to work itself out.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a little struggle right now,
Yeah.
but it's going to be okay in the long run.
Yes, and ain't nothing going to happen overnight, but for sure. That's the only thing I can do is stay strong. And for me, him, his brothers, his sisters, and everyone that's involved. And I just need the support to keep me standing so we can continue to fight for this, for justice for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, because it shouldn't go on like this with nobody.
And with that being said, that's right there is what we're looking for here at Trubian Village and the Black Heritage Committee. We're out for justice. We just want the right thing to be done. We're not looking for anything beyond what should be done. Well, all we're looking for is fairness. You mentioned something in the paper here. You said don't believe what you read, everything you read and what you hear. I came here today and I seen some things for myself, the facts that just didn't add up to me. And my mind has been swayed to believe this young man's story and what happened here. And so what I ask you to do right now is extend yourself a prayer out to Keivon and his family, and may everything go right as it should go right. And we leave it in God's hand. And here at Trubian Village and Black Heritage Committee, we welcome you and your thoughts, and we welcome you to come forward and help out in this situation to get this here straightened out. Thank you.